body bags were whore lies.
Who is this irresistible creature who has an insatiable love for the dead?
Hey guys, happy Thursday, this is your fright chick speaking. Okay, so this week is Vampire Week, and I was thinking, there's loads of vampire films, what the hell am I going to pick? Then I remembered this little gem. Teen Vamp. There is like no Wikipedia page. At first I couldn't even find an IMDb page, and the one that I did find has not got a cover that's got anything to do with the film, so yeah. What a gem! Oh no, I love this. I picked this up for £3. It was in one of those places that kind of sells a bit of everything really cheap, you know? They would never have like proper movies in there. But yeah, so Teen Vamp stars no one you know. Except for, I never know how to say his name. Gulaga? Something like the dad from Nightmare on Elm Street 2. That's what I need to say. He's literally the only person you may recognise. And I was looking them up and stuff, and I'm not joking, everyone who's in this has literally either just done this or like one other thing. So yeah, the basic story of this is a kid, 17-year-old Murphy Gilcrease, who is a nerd, I guess, you know. He wears a cardigan and he's skinny, so a loser, that's better. Murphy Gilcrease, right there. So yeah, he and his best friend, whose name I don't give a shit about remembering. They are the losers, and it opens with them at school. Now, this was made in 88, and I'm pretty sure they set it in the 50s, or at least the early 60s. You know, they've done that thing where they've got all the girls in skirts and jumpers with their hair up with those little ribbon things, all that kind of stuff. And he's got the biggest, like, he's in love with the popular pretty Connie Sutton. Now, she's a bit of a crazy bitch, I'm not going to go into that too much. So anyway, he's in love with her, and we follow his day-to-day life. He gets bullied by Bucky. That's his name, people. Bucky the bully. Who's actually pretty fucking fit, I must admit. He's the big jock. She's the popular chick. He's the loser, and then you've got best friend loser. Yeah, there's not that many people in this movie. So yeah, he does his day-to-day life. He gets chatting with his friend. There's a big bonfire after school. I don't know how you American people work, but you have bonfires a lot in these films. So they all go there. He's under the delusion that, you know, if he just talks to Connie, she'll fall in love with him too, and all this kind of crap. And then they go there, and that doesn't happen, clearly. And he drives away, and he's feeling pretty crap about himself. His best friend then tells him about a whorehouse. Joe Dan's, the whorehouse. So they decide to go there and get Murphy to lose his virginity to a prostitute. What 17-year-old boy wouldn't want to do that? Now, I've just got to point out something. It's just the whole fucking thing is just... the whole premise of this is hilarious. We'll get to the acting in a bit. So yeah, they go to the prostitute. He has, like, literally enough money just for himself. And then she turns out to be a vampire, and she bites him, and he turns into a vampire. That's the premise. There you go. There's the movie. It's what goes on during the movie once this has happened. Because this happens in, like, the first 10-15 minutes. I know it's low budget. I know they don't have money for effects. I know that fake blood might not look very blood-like and all this kind of crap. But you make do with what you've got. So it doesn't matter if your effects look shit. If you don't work them well, your whole fucking acting thing and your film looks shit. And this is what happened in this. And I love it for that. I do. I love slagging it off because I love that it's so shit. I love that it's pathetic. And I don't know, but this may even be a horror comedy of sorts, because there are times when I think they're trying to be funny, but because the whole thing is funny, they just seem pathetic. I don't know. Part of my brain wants to tell me that this isn't serious, because if it is, then holy shit. Wow, these people need acting school. Okay, so yeah, he gets turned into a vampire, and of course what happens in these teen movies when a teenager who gets picked on, who's in love with a popular girl, gets turned into a vampire, they suddenly start enacting their revenge. They lure and, you know, seduce the popular girl who's suddenly all for them. That's what happens. Then they get their own back on the bully. That's what happens. And then it gets a bit out of control, and then we resolve in the end. That's also kind of what happens, even though the ending is really weird and a bit anticlimactic. Now, I've just got to say, this guy, right, this looks cool. Yeah, it don't look like that in the movie. He's meant to be 17. I'm telling you now, he's got more stubble and more beard than Mood 616. Although not even a fathom of the awesomeness that his is. I mean, wow. He looks, honestly, honest to God, he looks about 40. His best friend looks maybe like he's a teenager. The girl looks just about in her teens, if she's lucky. And then the bully, nah, that ain't happening. Yeah, this guy is about 40 years old. Like, it's scary. But I don't want to ramble on. I'm not going to go on about it. Anyway, yeah. So there's just a couple of points that I'll point out because I'm. If any of you have seen this, then yes, please talk to me about it because I don't know anybody that even owns it or has seen it or whatever. But there's a couple of points I'm going to point out because they are really funny. There's a point in this where his mum has decided that she needs to exorcise him because he's now a demon. So she gets the vicar over. They didn't have any garlic, so they used some onions. And to show off Murphy's super strength, the vicar is like standing in front of him going, "You will need to be exorcised out of the young man," and all this. And then Murphy literally goes like this. He just goes, with his finger, and the guy goes, "Ah!" and flies back into the chair. Now, you couldn't have just used your palm or a fist even. No, you used your finger, and that awesome piano music they do where it goes, "Ah!" when they want to do something dramatic. That happens, and I nearly wet myself the first time I saw it. Another point, when he first turns into a vampire, even though he's a complete loser and wears quite awesome cardigans, I have to admit, they're kind of nice. The second he turns in and he wakes up on his first day of being a vampire, he suddenly finds a leather jacket that God knows where the hell he kept that before. He suddenly slicks back his hair and starts dressing Fonzie. He walks into the kitchen and he says to his dad is a vegetable, by the way. He's got a vegetative dad who just sits there with his eyes open and doesn't do anything. I don't know what the hell that was meant to represent, but yeah. He sits down and he just goes, "How's it going, Daddy-o?" Oh, fuck me. Oh, my God. Really? It's amazing. You have to watch it. I'm going to try and put as many photos in at the end of this review as possible that I can find. But, dear God, please watch the movie. It's amazing. It's like, you know how Sharknado's really shit, but everyone loves it because it's so good, because it's shit? Yeah, this just blows that one out of the water. And I'm going to stop there because I told you the premise, told you some good points, and I think that's literally all I can say about this. Like I said, there's not too much information, so if you can find this, get it. But don't pay too much for it because it's not worth it. I'll see you next week.